Part two.
Man, I'm
All
struggling.
right, all right, man. It is 7:30 ish on a Sunday night. That means that once again, time for another edition live in the man cave. This is the All-State Coach. I am Coach Barnes, and we are two of the three. The number one source for high school information in the state of Florida. We are Polk. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight and rocking with us. We do not take it for granted. Um, what's going on with your coach? How's it going your way, sir?
Coach, happy Sunday. 26 moving already, Coach. Ain't slowing
Already,
down for nobody.
we are already going, and ain't no stopping. What PG look like I just looked about 10 minutes ago. Well, I'll tell him I just woke up a couple minutes ago. I say, like you, give you some good rest on this Sunday evening. How you doing, sir? Yes, you can't hear me. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get her going. Get her going. Got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, and um, want to always honor your time. So, Coach, I don't know if you got anything in your corner. If you do, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I got two quick questions. Um, like we've talked about training a lot on here, and it's important for training how important skill development is, and it's important that coaches get their players better in practice and the culture that they create in practice. My question is, and is especially for PG, is it how difficult is it like when you're training and in practice, people not in the stands, the lights are not on, it's not like a huge a lot of pressure. So how does that change when it's actual game time? You know what I'm saying? And why you think players struggle with that?
With taking the training from the training to actual like game type scenarios and stuff. Um, I just don't think that you can. I don't think you can simulate game. Cones don't move, chairs don't move, people move. Um, and I think that over time, some people, and I'm not saying, I'm not knocking anybody's strategy or philosophy. I think there's been an over reliance on training as opposed to going and going against humans. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but human, you can't substitute human. Yeah, Frank, go do. Anyway, so my take on it is, I guess the training is nice, but you can't simulate people. And I think it's got to be more of a balance, or should be more of a balance with it. And I don't know if it is. I think some people training camp. I remember when and it's not basketball, but I remember CJ used to say this. We would do 7-on-7, and guys would be out there on 7-on-7. They'd be looking like all stars, and CJ be like, "Dad, they just what do you say?" He say t-shirt All American, a shirt and shorts. That's how he said. It's like when you put pads on, you pad up, and you got offense defensive line. That stuff changing. 7-on-7, you can run whatever route you want to run. You can zigzag and all that. That stuff ain't realistic when you actually put some pads on. So sometimes it can be fool's gold with all that training, and not knocking anybody with the training, but sometimes I think it can be fool's gold. I still think that you can't substitute humans for chairs and cones. That's my
Because
take.
I've seen people that can shoot, in practice while they're training, but when they get in the game, now they like airballing or it's like way off. So I'm just wondering, like, you know,
Is the stage too big for him?
that's that's
I've
that's
seen
what
I've
we're
seen that too. I've had a
that's what we're
teammate.
going through right now.
I've had a teammate been very inconsistent, could make everything while training. Also could do that in practice, but when you get a crowd in there, just very inconsistent. I had a college teammate like that.
Bones over cones. Coach Blicker. Shout out Coach Blicker in the chat. Small group, large group training, or individual training. See that? I guess that's my thing. All the units do small set of games, way more than 5-on-5 up until 14 years old. I just think that you gotta still go against other people. I mean, I ain't saying I'm not knocking train. I'm not saying it's not a place for it, but like you're saying, if that stuff is not translating to the game, then obviously you probably got to look at what you're doing that's not translating. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
So what helped you with that stage, Tumor? Like I see a lot of kids that struggle with the moment. So what helped you be able to translate it?
It was just natural, bro. I wasn't afraid of the moment. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus, I think a lot of the times when you do train, you got to take playing pickup ball and putting those training situations into a game situation like that before you even get into the huge crowds. But I mean, some people just mentally don't have the balance of what they do with training and how they can bring it to a game situation, especially if they miss a couple shots or do something where somebody defends it well. But I mean, it just for me,
Road warriors, man.
I'm
Sorry.
Is it natural? Is it instincts? Is it something that you're born with, or
it's
can it be?
natural, bro.
You either have it or you don't.
Yeah, like I said, you can train and be one of the best trainers and get in the game situation, and you just don't bring that to that. You don't bring a game situation to the way you train. I mean, if that makes sense. You don't the way you train, you can't bring to a game situation because you're just a different player. And then it's the IQ of the game too, right? Like you got to understand the game. You can train all you want, right? But how many of those scenarios with you're training against cones do you really have in a game situation?
You can't simulate the game. You can't simulate the whistle, the
You know,
referee
so
said.
yeah, you might be doing a drill where you got a move that you do that you've been taught by someone that you could never do in a game situation, bro, because of how well it's defended. Then you say organized ball. Can you move without the ball? How do you get into a situation where you can get the shot that you want? And how well are you getting scouted to take that away from you?
I seen something about a trainer the other day that they don't. I think it was Richard Jefferson or Matt Barnes, where they say when you with these trainers, they don't teach them how to play without the ball. They don't teach them how to move, how to relocate, all that type stuff.
That was gonna be my other thing. Like, what is it that your point is with the training, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we training with the purpose of translating it to game situations, or are you doing training? Are you training game situations? Are you just training? Does that make sense? Like, I'm just training to take a shot, but I'm not training to like two dribbles off the screen, elbow type shot. Am I training to come off the screen looking for the roll type? I don't know if that makes sense, but like, and I guess there's levels to it. I'm not a trainer. I know bro has trained. I know you train. I know Coach Blicker does it all the time. So I don't know if everybody is training kids for game situations. So that might be another reason why you can't translate, because you got them in the gym doing some stuff that's they're never going to do or use in the game. So then they get in the game and they got all these hours of training and paid all this money. but you ain't trained them on stuff that is going to actually matter when they line up against somebody. So
I
maybe
would say that most people who get trained in getting those scenarios. Let me give you an example. All right, Barnes, you're a great shooter, right? And you're training to do all this other stuff, but you're in a program that has you just as a great shooter, right? What's the plus to your training if you're only a great shooter?
there's no plus if you can't get a shot off. Then what? All right.
The next thing when you're training, when you're actually training, what are you training as? What does more training consist of? Being what?
A great shooter.
Nah, just take that away. But
Okay.
think about this: when you're training, all right, and you're learning all these balls, handling and all that, you're ball dominant.
Yeah.
When you're training, you're ball dominant.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when you step on the floor with a different program, let's say you a 2 guard, or a 3 guard, or a small 4, you're training ball dominant skill level, right? You're training ball handling, shooting off the dribble, 2 dribble, pull up, all that. All right. You don't match. It doesn't match the scenario of what you're doing in the game because you're not ball dominant in the game, right? So most successful people who are training ball dominant, they get that when they have the ball in their hands. If you're not having the ball in your hands and you're doing the training that makes you ball dominant, where's the value of that?
So because you're training with all this stuff, handling the ball, then you get in the game, you're handling the ball. So now
You
you're
don't have the ball.
stuck in the corner. You're a statue.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've trained ball dominant drills. You train 2 dribble pull-ups, 1 dribble pull-up. You've trained in and out of cones. You've trained doing different stuff, and then you're just a spot up shooter. What is the benefit of that?
I'm
So
with you.
how are you trying? How are you training is the question of why it doesn't relate to the game situations. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with
It
you.
makes sense. So
So
you're not.
that's the plus I had. The way I train myself, because I pretty much trained myself. Growing, I went to the park by myself, but I trained myself being ball dominant. So majority of the time I became the backup point. I was a shooting guard and the backup point. So I had the ball in my hands at least 60% of the game. And then my senior year, when I became the point guard, I had the ball in my hands 90%.
But you trained for that, and
I
it
trained.
worked out for you because you were able to translate what you were doing because you kept the ball in your hand.
Right.
Right. So
Can
if
we
you're not, go ahead.
go ahead? Go ahead and finish, Coach.
So I
No, I just
shot
want to say if you
2
didn't have
dribble pull-up. I shot the 1 dribble. I did those type of drills that it took to the game level.
okay, so what you did, your training translated directly to your game. That happens probably what about 20% of the time? Is that too low of a percentage that
Yeah.
that
I would say that's right on.
yeah. So for you it worked for 8 and probably another kid it might work, but for 8 other kids in that 10, they're doing something in the training that they're never gonna do in the gym. So then it doesn't translate. So
So do you need it? Yes, but does it make a transition for what you're doing on that team you're on? Or what your game is gonna be? It's the same, it's the same as like coaching, all right. I know Scott had me at the backup point from sophomore and junior year. I played backup point guard. But he put me in that position because he knew I was going to get recruited as a point guard. So my senior year, I had to transition to being the starting point guard. Coach Gibbons recruited me as a point guard. I never understood why I was a backup point. Like I'm talking sophomore year, I played backup point, and Mike played a different position, right? I was the backup point. My junior year, which was Mike's senior year, Mike started at point guard. Isn't that odd?
Mhm.
Mike didn't play point. Mike wasn't the backup point guard my sophomore year.
But he ended up jumping into that role.
He went from playing a different position to jumping into the starting point guard his senior year. Well, I stayed the backup point guard.
Scott does a great job assessing his players and know what his team needs. He needed you to score. You know what I'm saying? But also he was still helping develop you because he knew what you was going to be at the next level.
And I think a lot of programs miss that because they don't look at what the kid's gonna be at the next level, and that's why we don't see.
We don't see what
Training, bro. I don't know. I mean, training's so different now, bro. Like my training is considered basic to what the game is now.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what the training is that they do.
But I think you made a great point earlier when you was talking about the moment, and I think we don't discuss that enough, right? I think the moment separates average and good between good and great, right? Because we get criticized for rankings, right? We get criticized um, because our opinions on certain players, but in the moment, are these players producing how they should? Because I think a lot of people look at it as a kid's potential, you know what I'm saying, or what they could potentially be, or something like that. But when the moment comes, right, you see some kids excel. Then you see some kids where you don't even know that they're on the court. I think the moment separates between average and good and great. You know what I'm saying? Because those great players, when that moment comes, they don't shy away from it. You know what I'm saying? They still find a way to produce.
The moment is a complete game, right? We're talking about a complete game at the
Yeah.
moment.
Hmm.
So I don't think you can train for that moment. You got to just have that it.
And that's what I'm saying
Yeah,
is that
I'm agreeing with you. Like I'm.
yes, I know you are, and that's what I'm saying. And I think that's what separates some of these kids when we talk about from week to week. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm blowing a team out by 30, it's easy for me to have confidence and continue to strive. But yet when I'm in a big game, I meet some opposition, yet now my stats look like, 2 points, 4 turnovers, whatever. I'm just saying the moment separates players. And I think that's something that I look at a lot also. You know what I'm saying? What do you do in those moments?
the
It,
moment feel it, coach. The moment was just too big for Philadelphia just now. And they pros and getting paid penny money. It's helmet to the left, shoulder pass to the right.
it's like
They just
people try to criticize us
Yeah, they
about
just, they
Toby,
just lost. They just
try to
lost.
try to criticize us about Toby, but every big game, that kid has a big game. You know what I'm saying? Like when he plays against high level talent, that kid has a big game, and it's without question. You know
Without
what I'm
question.
saying? Same thing with Tate last year, and we've had great players, good and great players come through here. But when big games came, they rose to the occasion.
What's the situation with Toby? I saw Barnes send us something like it chance saying that he's not the best player in the county right now.
They say he's not the best player in the county. We actually had a couple people. One of them being one of the Franks that's on right now.
Why he
He
wouldn't be the best player in the county? He had a bad game, or something.
No, they essentially said one of the Franks. There was two Franks. It was said that they're saying that Jay is better than Toby. And they even went as far as to say that Barto's entire starting five is better than Toby. And I, bruh, I mean, he went from he ain't the best PG, in the county to now you got because Barto is ranked in the country.
Barnes
Um,
right in the country now.
Yeah, they
It
24.
was 24 in MaxPreps last week.
Wow, that's big, bro.
And so yeah, man, and so us, we ain't discrediting nobody, but so
You know, I've had a debate about the point guard situation since we left Santa Fe Gym over the summer.
Yeah.
mhm.
You know, I've spoke highly on the other kid, and I mean, I get the different points. What everybody speak on. I wouldn't definitely take nothing away from Toby. Right? That's Toby. That's his name, Toby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't take anything from Toby, because he's just proven to be he's just proven to be that kid that makes Santa Fe. Santa Fe is what 13-4 now,
13-4. Yes, sir.
and man, that kid a winner, bro. Like James, I'm so impressed with James, and I've been impressed with him. And all I keep telling people is like I've been said that. You know what I'm saying? I had my cousin call me about James when they first started this summer. I mean, this season when they was playing over in Orlando. Like, man, who this kid is? And I sent y'all a thing people speaking on him.
Mhm.
But both of them, like Toby, been winning, so you can't. Yeah, the value that he brings to Santa Fe is just unmatched. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what we're seeing from James now is, dang, how can I say this without being? I don't want to look at neither one of them as negative because it's a comparison with that, bro. Because what we're seeing from Bartow when Bartow got, bro, do we realize that Bartow has 6 players gone from last year's team?
Mhm.
I,
Four starters, bro.
We talked about that.
4 starters. Swanson was a starter last year, right? Some games.
Mhm.
yeah,
Battle, Borders, and Jameer.
Mhm.
4 starters from last year's team, bro, that are underclassmen. Then you take on this Silas and the kid at Jenkins. Bro, that's unreal.
and the kid at Fort Meade.
Oh, see, I ain't count him because he only transferred during the summer, right?
I don't know when he left, but he was at Bartow last year.
He played on Bartow's team last year during the season.
He wasn't getting the same clock as the other guys,
No,
but
but he was in uniform.
he was in uniform. Yeah,
I think people confuse that it's like a huge separation or that it's Toby has value. Crossley has value. You know what I'm saying? And they're two different players. Rattery is like is I don't. It's not a huge gap if there is a gap. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Defensively, there's a gap right now.
yeah.
Toby's the better, and I was against this. Remember, I kept saying, y'all saying Toby brings a better. Toby brings 2 things I think right now off of experience, bro. He's a senior. He's been in those scenarios. Blicker is training him to be in those scenarios, and defensively he goes harder. But bro, Jida Bartow different, bro. Jida Bartow special, and I ain't talking about Carl. I'm talking about Rattery,
Mhm.
James. Cause me, I just personally feel like he's the best player in the county, but I don't feel like he's the best point guard. Yeah, that's crazy how you can break it down. I feel like he's the best player in the county. I don't feel like he's the best point guard right now.
so you don't even feel like Cross is the best player on his own team.
Don't none of y'all feel that way, bro.
I'm just for clarity
Ain't no
purposes.
disrespect. It's not a disrespect to Crosley, bro. All right.
There's no disrespect at
There's
all.
not, there's, there's not one of us, including over there, that would say that.
There's
You
no
know,
dis.
I just had an argument. I mean, I had a full argument in the barbershop about how good Crosley is as a shooter. Like I feel like he can step in the paint. And I told my boy Mike T this the other day. He could line up and shoot shot for shot Rashad Anderson as the junior and senior Rashad Anderson, and it wouldn't miss a beat. But he's just more a spot up shooter. Rashad could 2 dribble hit it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Crosby has that yet. Sometimes you can develop that at the next level. But shot for shot, like shooting it, I don't think we've seen anything like that since Rashard, bro. Have y'all seen anything like that?
Not in recent memory, no. He's a.
But that doesn't make
Unless you look at Tate. I mean, Tate is struggle
Yeah,
too.
Tate
So,
did it
I mean,
more.
you can't discredit Tate on
Tate
that.
did it more off the bounce.
Yeah, off the bounce, man. I'm talking about Crosley, bro. That's why I said Crosley is a catch and shoot. I don't think we've seen nothing like that, bro.
Since Rashard.
Since Rashard, bro. That's 20 years ago, dog, that we seen a catch and shoot. Like anywhere on the court, catch and shoot. We ain't seen that, bro. I mean, nah, we haven't seen that. Nah, I'm talking about consistent. Like, if he took 15 threes, catch and shoot, you definitely probably gonna get 11 of them.
But like the other day, Lakeland played Bartow. Crosser didn't play. Bartow beat Lakeland by 15 without Jay.
Bro, the kid is.
If this is my point, if we switch out, and this, if was fifth, we all be drunk, right? If we switch out Rattery and Jay, do they still beat Lakeland by 15?
No.
If you take Tate, and I guess that's my thing. Like, I personally think, like you said, the person that makes Bartow go, and I was talking to somebody about this earlier, is Rattery. If I'm scouting Bartow, I'm attacking Rattery, trying to get him off the floor. I think without him, stuff gets real shaky. Nothing against Jay, but I mean, they just showed it. They just beat a district team that's pretty decent. That's going to end up probably being in the playoffs convincingly without him. And I saw what Frank said something about Tate is a system player because of what Mike is doing. But you can say the same thing about Jay being a system player because of what McGriff doing. They both got Hall of Fame type coaches that's coaching them. So you can't say one without the other. You can't say that Toby is only great or good because of what Mike is doing, what Blick is doing, but then you're not giving what Rattery and Jay is doing and what McGriff is doing. And that could be me down on that hill, but you can't give credit to one and not to the other good coach.
Yeah, both of them, both scenarios, you couldn't be without one.
Right.
But I would say this, bro. You put Rattery on any other team, it's 20 to 25 a game.
Come on now.
And I don't disagree. Like, the kid is talented. Jay is talented. You know what I'm saying? And even that being said, I think the key to their success is actually the Link kid. You know what I'm saying? Because he has to rebound and be a force defensively. And I think he balanced everything out because they're gonna get so much attention. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't defend and rebound and he's scoring at a high level too, especially in some of these games that I've seen him play, we can go back and forth on, like, we all have our opinions and we all, favor some of these kids. I think it's a hat off to these coaches getting these kids ready. You know what I'm saying? These kids are special. You know what I'm saying? But we don't want to take away from any of them. And I think that's what people try to do to us, is make us take away from what makes these kids special. Like, Toby is special for Santa Fe. Whether you say he a system kid or not, I don't agree with that.
No, Toby's not a system kid. Toby will do
it. I don't agree.
Every team would want Toby. Every team would want a Toby, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And he's special. He's special at the position, dog. Like, but what he does for Santa Fe is, you look at Santa Fe get on the court and you say, no way this team finna beat us. And he has something in him that makes everybody else go. That not too many can do what he does, bro. So that's why I say, like, it's crazy the way I put that line in. That because both of them play that position. This is my opinion, hands down. I've been saying this, but now I'm officially saying, like, James Zero at Bartow is the best player in the county. Toby's the best point guard.
Like I said, I respect it.
Leadership. You could just go on, bro, but I mean, I can't take that off of him as the best point guard with another point guard leading the team, and they ranked in the country. You say, but I think James right now is just proven. Like I don't agree with the Crosby being the best player in the county. I think James is the best player on Bartow, and I think he's the best player in the county.
Like I said, I respect it. Like I said, we disagree all the time. I don't agree with him being the best player. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a fan of him for sure.
Who's the best player in the county in your opinion?
What are we talking? Production? Are we talking potential?
Who gets the MVP? If we start the season right now on January, who gets the MVP?
If we stop the season now, I'm picking Toby. If we stop the season right now, I'm picking Toby. You know what I'm saying?
I got Toby.
But I can tell you that gap is not big at all. You know what I'm saying? I love what
since I saw him, I said that, bro. I'm just saying it out loud now.
Yeah, for sure. And over the break, Crosley has been 10 times better than over the break. He's really taken off. You know what I'm saying? And
I ain't saying that. Yeah.
I love the Link kid too. You know what I'm saying? I really love the Link kid.
And then
I'll ask y'all one question, and then we can move on from it, bro. If James was not on that team, he was number 7 of those 6 players. Is Bartow 15-1?
No,
they're not at all. And by the same token, if Toby ain't on Santa Fe, they not 13 or 14-4 either.
But
so,
like I said, Bartow's is a really good team. You know what I'm saying? I think they need everybody that they have on there in order to make that team run. But like Toomer is saying, Rattery is definitely, I think, what makes them go, because you need a point guard, you need a veteran to help drive that machine.
Just understand what I'm saying, and I respect y'all to the utmost on saying Toby, because I just said he's the best PG.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, they lost 4 starters. They got 4 starters floating around Polk County. They got 6 players walking around Polk County off of the team from last year, and they're 15-1. That's scary, bro. Not in top hats off to the coaching staff and McGriff, but 15-1 right now, bro.
No, it's easily his best coaching job thus far, in my opinion. And that's saying a lot. But
4 starters, bro. Like, we talking about 2 other guards. Minus Jameer, we had 2 other guards that were playing, giving some type of minutes in that scenario, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely, I mean, you can't knock it. You can't knock it.
Like, I ain't saying I wouldn't give it to Toby, bro, because I think Toby's the best point guard in the county, hands down, off of everything I've seen, even watching Santa Fe. But to see this kid rise to the occasion, as well as Link, as well as Crosby, as we say, but they lost 4 starters, bro. And that kid is actually getting recognized on levels, bro, that we, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had the little one podcast stop and do the whole interview thing about him. Yeah. And it's the reason why they did that, bro.
We're not discrediting what you're saying. And if we was to line up stats, which we're not going to do, stats wise, because a lot of people, they hang on stats. I would y'all people that's saying that, just go line up Jay, James, and Toby stats. Just line them up for yourself, and we could do it, but it's not a gap at all. And we kind of posted some of the stats, and then but I don't know if just because, and AC Solar saying that Toby, he's Team Jay Crosby. You saying that Crosby not on the team, they wouldn't be 15-1. And Tim, to your point, I think we all agree that Link is probably has the most potential, being the way he's at as a sophomore. It's just hopefully he, and I personally don't think he's done growing. I think he got a couple more wins. I think he'll end up 6'9", 6'10". So if he can maximize his potential, And yeah, the sky's the limit for Link, and we're all saying that. And he seemed like he's starting to scratch the surface. He's starting to figure that out. So hopefully, we want him to continue to progress toward that to that end. But I mean, AC, to your point, they didn't have Jay the other night, and they beat Lakeland by 15. So I mean, they did all right without him. I'm not saying now McGriff ain't on just want him. Obviously, he want him, but they definitely did, and that goes to so that's five. That's five. So that's 5 people. Just look at that. If you want to add Jay to the other 4 you just mentioned, if lately they have 5 people that started or got major minutes last year and went and beat a playoff caliber type team that Lakeland gonna be by 15. So, I mean,
who would get beat by 40? Don't let's just hand down.
He's saying Lakeland they would have beat Lakeland by 40, but the point of it is they wouldn't have beat Lakeland by 40. First of all, second of all, they beat them without him. Is the point we're making? That's all we're saying. So let's just keep it a buck. They beat them convincingly without Jay. That's all we're saying.
The score wouldn't have been no different from having Jay on the floor. It might even been less, bro.
Come on.
So I tell you this. I say this loud. Lakeland is a threat to Bartow.
Exactly. When the last time?
It's gonna take but a little bit. It's gonna take some adjustment
for a game.
If some adjustments happen, Lakeland is a threat to Bartow.
And there's a reason why the energy that was given to the preparation, which we won't talk about on here, but we know the preparation that went into them getting ready for Lakeland, and I think we kind of know the guy that runs Bartow enough to kind of have an idea. But once again, out of respect, we won't go into detail of it. Frank, trust me, boss, you don't even know a little bit of the half of it. Half y'all that's in the chat don't know a little bit of the half.
Hey man, Chicago just beat Green Bay. I thought Green Bay was going to the Super Bowl, man, and they couldn't beat Chicago.
Yeah, but anyway, see, and that's the thing. We'll move on though. So, this past week, Terrell Berry from Discovery went over 1,000 points for his career, and he's like the 3rd or 4th person that's done that this year, right? So my question, PG, you can relate to this because you was a high scorer at Mount Dora. You one of the top scorers in school history. I think you still are the top scorer in school history. Was it hard for you? Or does it seem like, maybe I want to make sure I frame the question right. Is it easier now? Because it seems like more and more kids are hitting this. It used to be like a milestone to get 1,000 points in a career. It seems like it's happening like all the time now. So is it a thing where?
Did he play 4 years, bro?
Barry he's a junior. He got 1 more year. But that's the kid that's at Discovery, but it's like he's like the 4th one. Like Tucker got 1,000. I think Toby got 1,000. Fuller from Discovery, Victory. He a junior. He got 1,000. That's just this year. And so Barry like the 4th one. I may be missing one, but at least 4 kids this year have crossed the 1,000-point career mark. So I'm saying in today's game, has it become easier to get points? Because it seemed like you didn't see a lot of people celebrating 1,000 points for their career.
It wasn't celebrated.
So it was happening, it just wasn't celebrated. Okay.
Celebrated.
Okay.
That's why I asked how many years they've been playing. 1,000 points ain't hard.
Like I remember, back coming up in the 80s, as a little jet, I don't remember nobody celebrated 1,000 points. 2,000 points they celebrated. Even in the 90s, I don't remember nobody stopping the game because somebody scored
1,000 points ain't hard to get.
You know what I'm saying? Because we just think now they play 25 games. They play 25 games in the regular season. I'm pretty sure they count in preseason too. So we talking about 27 games, averaging about 8 or 9 points a game, or whatever. I'm not taking away from them scoring 1,000 points, but at the same time, I think we overhype it. Like we in the participation trophy era, You know what I'm saying? Where we celebrate everything.
Here, 27 games times 9 is 243 times 3 years. You at 729. So you do that at 42. You just go 243 points. Times 4. You get close to 1,000 points off of 9 points a game, bro. It's not hard.
So it's fool's gold. So why we celebrate? Well, I don't want nobody throwing it at the screen or blacking the screen out. Seems like we celebrating it more now. So why we? If it's not that big a deal, what do we?
Again, like I said, we're in a participation trophy era where we try to just celebrate everything. It's more of a positive reinforcement. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it wasn't celebrated when we came to win.
I didn't know they were celebrating it. So
when do you remember that, Barnes? I don't remember that when we was coming.
I didn't know they were celebrating it now. This is all new.
We stopping games. We having games. I mean, we stopping games. We giving balls and I don't want to knock it. I don't want to knock it. I'm just asking. So people gonna probably take this negative, but I'm just asking the question. I'm not.
They ain't doing that for real, man. Y'all joking.
All right. You want me to send you videos and pictures?
Y'all pranking me.
All right.
Y'all pranking me.
I mean,
I just gave you a number. 9 points a game over 4 years is you like 23. You like 28 points from 1,000.
But like I said, I know they got a preseason too, Tuma, so they get more games than that. You know what I'm saying? So you getting at least 27 for sure.
Bro, where you think I got it from? It's coming across the page.
I ain't been on the show, man, so I figured you might want me to shut the screen off.
Man, I
think that's
depends on the program. The program might not have had that. So out of respect for the program, they might not have 1,000-point players. There's nothing. I mean, so
and like I say, it's a different time, I guess. And I have to remind myself that I'm old school. I'm Unc in the club, as they say. And how I look at stuff is different than how it is. Things are so, like you said earlier, things are so different. But yeah, bro, they celebrate it.
So if it's Discovery is probably like a 3 to 4 year program, right?
But he just got Discovery this year.
No, I'm talking about the program basketball. How long has Discovery been a program?
It's been longer than 3 years. It's been about 6-7 years.
So they don't have that. They probably don't have 1,000-point scores. So I don't see nothing wrong with it on that side. Because the program is good enough.
So you saying for a younger team, okay, but for an older squad, traditional squad,
they got 20 plus years of the basketball program. They shouldn't be celebrating that because it's probably 30 other players got it. But for Discovery, with how they come in every 2 years, you only get so many years of it. I can see the celebration of it, bro. They probably ain't got nobody. They probably got like 3 or 4 people with 1,000 points in their career.
Okay.
That's a thing that by the time they hit year 15, 1,000 points should not even exist.
I agree.
That's a good point. That's a good way to look at it.
Once they started, it just snowballs effect. I don't think they can stop it now because it's not.
You got to do it because if Discovery doing it, and I'm over at Steam Academy, and I get it. You can't not celebrate me. So yeah, now at this point, everybody. You can say it's monkey see, monkey do now.
I don't think people, celebrate one kid, forgot about another kid, then they had to go back and backtrack. Like I think it just caused more problems than anything. Like I think you put out a great graphic, you know what I'm saying? Do it before, after the game.
Why won't celebrate rebounds? Why won't celebrate assists? Why won't celebrate steals?
I agree.
I mean, once again, I'm old school. I'm so.
But my thing is, like I said, it wasn't celebrated back when we came through. So why change it? Why lower the bar? You know what I'm saying? Like Tuma put up 2,000, bro. That's remarkable. You know what I'm saying? That's everybody not doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
And that I think, and for me, the old school coach in me, I would say if I celebrated a stat, I would probably celebrate like rebounds or assists because I feel like that goes more toward the end result of the game, and those kind of things never get celebrated. But that's just me, right? But I get it. In the day and age we are, you have to, like you say, keep pace. Because so once somebody does it, you can't not do it. I've seen it so much, and I just like I wanted to ask y'all take on that. So
I just like a new school. Like I didn't realize Discovery Wheeling been there 6 years. I just didn't know that.
And then the school been there. It was before that. It was a coach before Wheeling, so it's been there a minute for sure.
So I thought Discovery started probably around the same time we started Polk, bro. I'm sorry.
I started before that.
Yeah. I just didn't hear about them. They must have been so trash.
And then
they wasn't in the coverage area. The coverage area has expanded.
Like Barry points, most of his was scored before he got there to Discovery.
Yeah. How do you know those stats? Like, do you call the other coach and get those stats?
They keep up with it, and then plus you can always go to MaxPreps if coaches keep accurate records. You can add them up.
Oh, I thought y'all say coaches don't even be turning in MaxPreps.
They don't. That's why I did a knock. You didn't hear me knock on wood at MaxPreps. So
some people
that's a great.
We do. You know what I'm saying? And
it's a great segue to the next part is the rankings for this week. So FHSAA playoff rankings. So some stuff changed from last week to this week. You said we'll give y'all a daily update. So right now in 7A, well, they'll come out again on Tuesday. No, Monday. They'll come out again tomorrow. No, Tuesday. The 12th. It's tomorrow. So tomorrow, Monday. Right now, if it stopped today, we got Ridge and Winter Haven would be in. Because remember, the top 8 goes in for each region. So last week, Ridge was number 3 in that region. Winter Haven was 7. In 6A, Bartow is 1. Lakeland is 5. So that's what we said. Lakeland is going to make the playoffs unless they just crash and burn. Region 5, Arbondale is at 4 right now. We don't have anybody in 4A. 3A, Discovery is 7. McKeel is 9. In 2A, Santa Fe is 1. Lakeland Christian is 6. In 1A, Victory is 1. All Saints is 3. And in the rural, Fort Meade is 3 and Frostproof is 4. So we got 10 teams right now. If they stop it today, would be in the playoffs. Now we've talked about strength of schedule, and there are some teams that have some very high strength of schedules, and there's some teams that don't have very high strength of schedule, but they have good records. And right now, that strength of schedule is not hurting some of those teams that we've talked about. Man, I can't tell you how much I get killed when I post something, and people don't always post their stuff on MaxPreps or your point, PG. So I go looking for the stuff because sometimes they'll submit it to me, sometimes they won't. I go looking, it's not on there. So all I can go on, because this at the end of the day, y'all know that this is not all that I do, it's not all that Coach and PG do. So if I get up in the morning, I'm gonna check the stuff, and by 7 a.m. I'm trying to have the stuff out to people. Kind of look at it like how people wake up and they want to have their morning paper, they want to read the paper with their coffee and they donut or whatever you do. That's my thought process. So I'm trying to get it to you by 7 a.m. I'm trying to get you the scores from last night if I don't post the night of, and get you what's going on for the day so you can plan your day. But if I go to MaxPreps and you ain't got nothing on there, I can't post what's not on there. Then people be ready to say, this our record is this, or this was the score. Well, hell, where you gonna put it up? And you, like I keep saying, you ain't gotta tell me. Just post it on MaxPreps like you are supposed to do. I'm not asking you to do nothing that you ain't supposed to do. But anyway, so that's the region. Now, if we look at class ranks, just for giggles, Ridge is ranked number 11 in the state in 7A. Ridge in 7A. I'm just talking about the top teams. Bartow is number 2 in 6A. Arbondale is 24 in 5A. Discovery is 18 in 3A. Santa Fe is 4 in 2A. Victory is number 5 in 1A. Fort Meade is number 10 in 10. Fort Meade is number 10 in rural. All Saints is number 18 in 1A. And so those are the teams that are ranked in the top 25. Frostproof is number 22. So we got like 8 or 9 teams that's ranked in the top 25 in the state. So are they really doing a bad job? As we say that, how it ends up, we don't know. But at this point, and all we can go off of is what's posted weekly. And this is state stuff. This is not county. This is how we look against the rest of the state. So, Coach, I know you more and locked into it. PG kind of in and out with it a little bit more so than you are. What's your take on us as it relates to how we doing state-wise? Are you surprised? Is it about normal? Because I know, like for Frank says just Santa Fe, Bartow, and Victory, and that's it, cut off. But other teams are playing good basketball too, based off of their rankings and how they are looking in their region and for the state. Now, like I say, this is just as of January 5th. We still got a whole month, so a lot can change. But as of right now, what's your take on it?
All right, so it depends on what your goals are, right? So if your goal is just getting into the playoffs and you put together a favorable schedule to make sure that you're improving and building your program and just trying to get there, having that mid to low SOS, that's okay. Because what you don't want to do is lose a bunch of games, lose your team. Now you got a disgruntled program. The people that's having this low SOS, but they're winning, you know what I'm saying? And the state still rewards winning, right? So their job right now is to hold on to it, Barnes. Like, I think All Saints is number 3. They got to hold on to that, once the playoffs start. Because if you start sliding, you know what I'm saying, you end up in that 4 or 5 spot, then therefore your opponent gets even tougher. And then you're on the side of the 1 seed, it gets even tougher. Like I said, this is always chess, not checkers. Like even with you talking Santa Fe and Victory, right? They number 1 in their region, correct? But we know what their goals are is to get to the Final Four and get to the state championship game, right? But the thing is, if they make the Final Four right now, remember they reseed the Final Four. So if they go into the state finals right now, they'll be the 4 seed. So guess what? They have to play the 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for Blicker and Victory to have a tough SOS so they can continue to climb up those charts. Because when they reseed it, you don't want to play the number 1 seed. You rather take your chances with the 2 and 3 seed. I mean, yes, you happy to get there. You know what I'm saying? But it's still strategic. Like I said, some people just be happy to get there, Barnes. Some people are trying to really win a state championship. You know what I'm saying? You got to position yourself in order to do so. If you just happy to get there and you just willing to go through that gauntlet in order to do so, then so be it. But you don't help yourself out first of all, if you don't have your kids battle tested. So if your kids are not battle tested, you get in the playoffs, you run up against somebody that has been battle tested, you can't be upset with the result. You see people all the time, well, their record is 20-5 and such and such record is 12-11. Yeah, but their SOS is 16, yours is 5. You know what I'm saying? They don't play good teams all year. So they're really ready, for this playoff run. But yet you didn't prepare yours because you thought wins was more important. So it's got to be a healthy balance. I think McGriff does a great job with that. Blicker does a great job with that. And Fitz does a great job with that, where they schedule really, really tough, but they also schedule where they can get, their rivalry games, and they get other games where they're not just totally beat up in those particular games. Then we got some people don't schedule at all, right? So when they do play a tough team, their kids are not prepared. And that's the reason why they're not successful when they get to the district playoffs, let alone the regional playoffs.
That makes sense. So just for clarity, point of clarity, in the rural division, it's not 8 teams, it's only 4 teams. So right now, Fort Meade is 3 in the region, Frostproof is 4. So they both would make it in as it stands right now. But like you said, they got to continue to keep pace. Um, and we got a couple teams on the outside looking in right now. Like, and to Frank's point, so Lake Wells last week, Lake Wells put up a couple good wins this week, right? So they were 10 last week. McKeel is 9. And I think those are the only two that's like kind of close. That's not already in the region. Like Kathleen is 14. Like some of these teams will have to win district. Davenport is 13. They'd have to win their district. Avon Park is 12. But realistically, we got 10 right now. What would be your number that you think will get in if you had to? You think the 10 that's in right now, good, safe? You think we get more? You think we get less? What's your over under?
I think we I think we'll be right at 10.
Right,
If
10.
not, according to how these next couple weeks go, it might be less. I think these kids and teams did well early. But they have to maintain it as the season comes to an end. A lot of people are playing really, really good teams, so their SOS is climbing. Like, for instance, Lakeland, right? They was like 9 or 10 last week,
Mm-hmm.
and they all the way up to 5 within a week's time just by their strength of schedule.
Lakeland went from 260 coach to 124 overall in the state. They jumped 140 spots in 1 week.
That's what I'm talking about. And these other programs can do the same thing. So these people can't get comfortable with where they're at, thinking that they're going to stay there.
Lakeland lost last night, right?
Yeah, Lakeland had a tough week.
Who won out of Auburndale and Victory?
Victory.
Victory struggled a little bit during the Christmas break, but they seem like they done kind of got it. They had a nice road win against Calvary Christian. And Victory got a big week. We're gonna talk about here. I guess we can talk about it now. They got 2 big games this week. We know our games of the week. We don't talk about all of them. We just talk about 7, 8 of them. So our game of the week will be Tuesday night, the return match. Arguably, I guess could be say the game of the year so far this year in the county. I don't know, maybe the first time Victory and Santa Fe played. Well, they play the second part of it. They actually play each other home and home. So they play Tuesday night at Santa Fe, Victory at Santa Fe, the second part of that. So what's y'all thoughts on that one? Taking off Tuesday night. That's our Polk Hoops game of the week, by the way.
Santa Fe.
You like Santa Fe at home?
Yeah, I like them at home.
That was quick. Coach, what you got?
I think you can go either way. I think Blicker made a point the first time they played, and I think this is the first time that the home team actually won. Was the last game? It was only by 1 point. I think Santa Fe's a lot tougher at home, so it wouldn't surprise me if Santa Fe come away with the win.
Yeah, they only won by 1 last time, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing how even they are with the type of they got 2 totally separate teams. Like Victory got size, and they got probably more depth than Santa Fe. Santa Fe not gonna kill you with depth, but they so structured and disciplined. They run such good stuff. They both play different styles.
Yeah.
They got great, obviously they got great coaches, and they teams play very well, play hard. And it's just amazing how 2 teams that's totally opposite are actually similar. I don't know if that even makes sense. Kind of like what PG was saying about the whole Rattery best player, Toby best PG. It kind of don't make sense, but it kind of do. But I think they very evenly matched, and like you said, it could go either way. And they play this how it is.
Victory definitely going there and win their game.
Yeah, and I if they control the boards and play well defensively, I think they will go in there and win it. But like I said, it's evenly matched with these two because they're so familiar with one another. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be up for this game. I think it's not going to really come down to the key player. It's going to come down to one of those role players having a big game. And who is that going to be for either one of those teams. I'm curious to see.
And
They
then you
probably
got
the only two teams that play each other twice in the county, huh? So Auburndale and Winter Haven always do it.
South Winter Haven. That's the home and home is a thing of the past in the county. And that game is going to do great for both of their strength of schedules because they both so
Yeah,
high.
they both
And so you can get your strength of schedule increase and don't even have to leave Lakeland. Don't have to leave the city limit. So it's great for both of them that they actually play each other, and that they helping each other. You know what I'm saying? So they play each other and then they don't play each other the rest of the year, and they can go on and focus on, the task at hand in 2A and 1A, which is getting back. So that's our game of the week. We got some other interesting games. So also on Tuesday night is Arbondale travels over to Bartow. And so you got the two longest tenured coaches in the county. Both of them came at the same time. Both McGriff and Coach Robinson. This is year 24 for both of them. All at the same school. So we've talked about Bartow and what they've done and what they've been all year. What is our talking? I saw what Frank was saying that Arbondale and Arbondale on paper, talent wise, Arbondale still has talent. They probably still got the most talent in their region, but it's been a struggle to find the consistency. And I know, I'm not saying that Coach Robinson probably ain't thought himself, him and his staff, but what will it take for Arbondale to find their groove, I guess, and can they do it? And let's take a second. Bartow, it's Tuesday night. It is Jersey night in Bartow. So, and they doing so now. They doing themes, coach. They doing whiteouts. They doing countdown. They doing daily flyers. What we just it done went to a whole different stratosphere. And then you win it on the court too. So I mean. But anyway, the question is about Arbondale. What does Arbondale got to do to find the groove? Because they still got time. Like I said, they 4 in the region, so they still in good shape with a chance to move up.
I think it's more of a chemistry thing. Remember, this team wasn't totally together all summer and all spring. You know what I'm saying? Like Gunner came at the end of the summer, and then they had a major injury with Curry. So I think that was an adjustment for them. I think if they had all of their team, then we talking about the number one team in that particular region. But I think they struggled because of consistency and them trying to find themselves and like redefining themselves in their roles and stuff on the team. I think Coach Robinson and his staff is doing a good job trying to keep it together. I think they're peaking now at the right time, but I think it's going to be tough for them to go over there and beat Bartow at home.
Yeah, I'd like Bartow.
I do, like you said, to your point, I think they still in good shape in that region. I still like them. I still think they got the most talent. They got, these next couple of weeks, I think is going to be really big for them. Like you say, from a consistency standpoint. And but you got talent. You got the Lindsay kid who's been killing it. You got Garner, who you say got a ton of talent. They got Ramirez, so they got some pieces. The Snead point guard. So it's not like they walking in there and they don't have talent. They got talent, and they got just as much talent on paper as Bartow. It's just a matter of they just gotta, like you say, get it all going in the same direction. And I know it's been frustrating. But at the end of the day, Curry, they won't get him back, right? So they kind of what he's done for. I don't know if I don't want to speak on it. I don't know what his status. I don't know if they looking for him to come back before the year is out or not. So that's Tuesday night. Wednesday, an interesting game. Ridge, who just suffered their first loss. I guess it's an upset. They got upset by Sebring Friday night down in Sebring. You saw the kids on the video where they erased the 0 and put 1. So Ridge took their first L, and now you got they traveling to Lakeland. So 2 teams that are playoff caliber level type teams. What you think on Ridge over at Lakeland on Wednesday night?
I like Lakeland.
Rich has so.
You like what?
I don't know what Ridge really has.
Okay.
I like Lakeland. Like I said, Ridge did a great job so far, but now they're starting to play tougher teams. And Lakeland at home is different than Lakeland playing away. So
No, BD Lakeland been playing at middle schools and stuff. They ain't home court no right now.
really,
Yeah, they
Play Lake Gibson at Southwest.
no, I didn't know that.
they getting work in their gym right now. Yeah. Worst time in the world to be having work done on your gym, but yeah,
That's
they get work through the
interesting.
gym. That's Polk County. That's Polk County.
How long they supposed to be out?
That's a
I
great
don't know.
question. I think I know. Hopefully it's for them. I know they say sooner than later, but yeah, they've been trying to push pieces together. Like that's Polk County. What you call it? What they call it? Facilities department. So, all right.
I still like Lakeland though.
Another interesting game Thursday. Bartow, aforementioned Bartow, travels to Winter Haven. Winter Haven is another playoff caliber team. Should get in. Talent wise, definitely seems like they're starting to catch their rhythm and their groove. The game is over in Winter Haven, so it's an interesting game. So, what's your take?
Bartow.
Are you quick? Are you as quick with Bartow too, PG coach?
Yeah, Winter Haven come out swinging, but Bartow by double digits.
I don't think they're gonna come out swinging, bro. Bartow, I agree with the double digits, but Bartow different.
Okay. All right. Well, then the last two games we traveled down to Wally Keller, and on Friday afternoon, Victory takes on at 4:00. They take on Coatesville from Pennsylvania.
How you spell that?
Coatesville. So Coatesville, Pennsylvania. So Victory goes to Wally Keller. Y'all that don't know, Wally Keller is like one of the premier shootouts in the state. And so we got two teams that got invited this year, which is down from last year. Last year we had about 4, I think. So we got it just say Coatesville, PA, Coach Blicker. So I don't know if that's Pennsylvania, Philly or not. But it just say Coatesville, PA on the Wally Keller schedule that McGriff sent me.
I mean,
they
Coatesville is actually in Coatesville, PA. I don't know if that's close to Philly or what. It probably is. Their strength of schedule is like 11. They're 10-3 right now. I think it's a good game, but I'm gonna take Polk.
Yeah, I'm going for Victory. I think
that's another strength of schedule game. I'll tell you. So you got
I like Victory.
I don't like them playing at 4. I think Victory, being a City of Palm team, should have played later, but I don't control that.
Well, the game of the night is the 9:00 game. So at 9:00, Bartow, the aforementioned Bartow, takes on Jacksonville Providence. And Providence is like number 12 in the state. They're number 2 or 3 in 2A. I know Coach Blicker can speak on them, I'm sure, like at length, because I know he's looked all that up. But that'll be a big boy game, literally for Bartow. Those people got a couple 6'8" guys, so they got some size. What's your take as you look at that? What's your take on Bartow, Jacksonville, Providence? That's the nightcap of the Wally Keller at 9:00 that night.
I'm going for Bartow.
I think Bartow should be fine as long as everybody playing. If somebody missing, they're not. I don't like their chances. They do have a common opponent with Olympia. They lost to Olympia by 1 earlier this year.
It'll be a good matchup. They got a pretty good PG, as Coach Blicker would say. I was gonna say they got a pretty good PG, and obviously saying Ratter is pretty good. But they both 2 in the state in their classes. Bartow number 2 in 6A, and Providence number 2 in 2A. Bartow right now is number 7 in the state. Providence is number 19 in the state. So it's a top 20 matchup. So it's a
But
neutral
Bartow
site.
they can't go in there without all their bullets though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that they're healthy and they have everybody.
So
But I definitely like Bartow though.
okay. All right. So that's what we got for the week, the games of the week. Obviously, there's more games than that. And we post them daily as we always do. There's also this this weekend, the JJ Etler Classic is going on over at Lake Region. They got 3 games. We'll post those games as well. So shout out to Lake Region for continuing to honor the kid JJ Etler's legacy, Coach Shake and his staff. And we will post the top 15. Just so y'all know, the top 15 is based off of not just records anymore. We also put in the strength of schedule and how they look against the rest of the state. So you'll see there'll be some movement this week with the top 15. And we just going to, in parentheses, instead of putting the records, we're going to put the points based off the point system of where everybody the way everybody kind of lines up. And then we'll also do the honor roll. We'll post that tomorrow as well. No, we already posted honor roll. We posted honor roll today. So had some good performances. So, Coach, before we jump off, man, what's your advice? I know you're kind of going through something. You and Coach Lawson, y'all going through something y'all have not went through in a long time. So maybe you can get some advice to some people before we jump off, as you're dealing with a little adversity, a little something that wasn't. You can't prepare for the injury bug, and you can't prepare for just a little bump in the road. So, what would be your take? You ain't got to give all the sauce, but what would be your take or your advice to anybody else who may be going through it a little bit, as you work through this we work through the MLK weekend.
For us, we're not hitting the panic button, but we are making adjustments. We've been talking the last 24 hours, and what we're not going to do is panic, because if you panic, your kids are going to panic. But it's also we're being able to evaluate our kids and what we can trust them with and what we can't trust them with in order to prepare, for the playoffs. Our focus right now is to be the number 1 team in 7A Region 3. And then we're focusing on making sure that we're in the best position going into the Final Four. We're not really worried about, where we rank that overall in the state. What we're trying to do is get those 3 through 7 kids better, because we're going to need them in the playoffs. We know what Q and Serenity going to do, but if those 3 through 7 kids are not better, we're not going to be able to accomplish the goal that we want to accomplish. So right now we focus on development. We focus on giving those kids experiences so they'll be ready for the moment. Like, we got one of the toughest schedules in the state, and it doesn't get any easier coming this weekend, because we got the number 1 team in the state on Saturday, which is Miami Country Day. We're not running for nobody. We're not making no excuses. The advice that I have for coaches now is that you got to be strategic and intentional about what you're doing in practice and what you're doing in games and what you're working on in order for teams to be in the playoffs. And you need to be working on what strategy that you're going to use in the playoffs, and narrowing down your rotation. You should know who you can trust with what. So now you should be getting into that playoff district tournament rotation and what people roles are going to be, what you're going to trust them with, things that you're going to run, things that you're going to throw out. If you need to install something new, all that needs to be now, because at the end of January, you need to be rolling and confident in what you're doing as far as strategically as a system and with your players.
Okay. All right. Well, Coach, thank you for sharing that. I'm sure some people, hopefully, they could take from that. We're not used to Winter Haven, doing the adversity thing. So it's good to hear the process. So, people are taking.
Crying like you 8-8. What y'all record is?
We like 12-5. No, it's not bad. Like, other people are making more a deal about it than we are. We knew we didn't have the team that we had last year, and then we got 2 starters that are out with ankles. They've been out a month, and we realize how important those kids are. So right now we're just trying to get through this tough time without those kids. But when we get them back, like I said, we're gonna be in the lab trying to get better, trying to get those 3 through 7 kids better. Like I said, it's crazy because people still don't want to play us, coach. We supposed to have the LaDon tournament next week, and right now we don't have a Friday opponent because nobody wants to play us. It's unbelievable, actually.
Is it? Is it unbelievable?
Coach, man, I don't understand
I'm just asking. Is it really? But I mean, yeah, coach. I just got to manage it, and I know y'all having to handle your business a little differently than in past. So hopefully, the lesson that people are getting is sometimes adjustment has to happen, and even to the best of us, sometimes we have to pivot. And I guess that's the point that I want other folks to get. Because, they be ready to say, y'all got this coach. Y'all don't have to worry about this. Y'all got this coach. You hear that all the time. Okay, well, now you having to deal with, you ain't got to deal with what we got to deal with. Well, now I'm dealing with it. We down. We playing seven girls. We dealing with injuries. So we're dealing with the same stuff you're dealing with. Yeah. So don't think that it's just reserved for y'all and that it misses us. It hits everybody some point. Even the best one, even the people at the top have to deal with it from time to time. So that was the point of me wanting you to just kind of give insight on that.
Fast. And we're not making excuses, coach. You know what I'm saying? We got to find a way to get it done, just like everybody else do. Nobody's gonna have no asterisk like, oh well, such and such hurt, or well, such and such they're dealing with this. It comes down to wins and losses. You just got to find a way.
Got to find a way. Okay. Before we get off, Blicker say, when's senior night, coach? Okay, y'all have a senior night, people. Y'all got somebody's gonna play y'all a senior night. Y'all can't find nobody want to come play you.
I think it's Tampa Catholic. Let me look right quick though.
Got to give it to them on the fly. PG, you got anything for the good of the cause? Appreciate you tapping in. Blicker say it's a new you in 2026. You ain't black the screen at one time tonight. But in his defense, Blicker, I didn't do the top 15 either. If I did top 15, I probably lost him. So I didn't want to lose him. So we'll just post that tomorrow.
Coach Blicker, Tampa Catholic 127.
Okay. And so y'all, and the good thing y'all got, coach, y'all don't play again this week, so y'all can get a little more healthy, right? Y'all off this week too, right? So y'all didn't play again next week.
Friday and Saturday down in Miami.
I mean, y'all don't play till the weekend.
Yeah, we don't play till the weekend.
Okay. All right, man. Well, if y'all that's been you football people, man, the road teams have been road wars today. So PG, does that mean your guys in trouble?
No, man, these guys just went for 4th and 2. That's why I'm kind of caught up. These guys went for 4th and 2 at the 4th and goal at the 2-yard line and gave us the ball back. We got 3 points out of it. Okay. Typical coaches, man. Analytics costing them games instead of getting points.
All these games been close, and the Eagles just they're gonna get rid of Brent. They're gonna get rid of.
That's what I'm talking about, Toma.
Okay, all right.
Well, that's the world. Everybody against us.
Let's do the obligatory because I don't think we're gonna be on. I think we're taking the holiday off next week. So you want to talk about it now? Because next time we jump on, the game will be over with.
We gonna win. Ain't nothing to talk about.
You nothing to talk about?
We gonna win.
We at home too.
I say, boy, beat us at home for a national title. Boy, you good.
So and how did that fall when y'all end up playing a home game? I don't even know how that. That's
ever happened.
That's why they want us in the playoffs.
You think that's why they want y'all in because they knew y'all gonna get to the championship?
I don't think they knew that. They didn't want us there because we were gonna be the most dangerous team. You know,
no, I told everybody, don't blame me, blame Nick Saban, man. He said it.
He did say it.
But I still want to give a shout out to Ro Hardy, man. I'm still proud of that young man. You know what I'm saying? He doing things over there. But you finna
fine fella.
Yeah.
Fine fella this week. But I ain't here.
Go Ro. I don't have a dog in the race. I just want a good game. But
you gonna get that.
But that's going to, like I told you, I think both those teams are playing SEC, old school before NIL, SEC level football. and I think it's gonna be a great game. So, but anyway, so both my co-hosts, they are, as y'all can tell, they are insanely pro Miami. And
Just
so
picked up two big receivers in the portal.
Yes, we did.
So that means somebody coming. Somebody coming. If they coming
get
now,
the quarterback from Iowa State.
if they coming, I think we're gonna get them.
I mean, y'all
Tickets are available, Coach Cable, but they are like $3,600 a piece.
I'll get that to my daughter before I go down there in the Sky Zone and watch the game on the bigger TV.
Yeah,
man. Coach Blicker, I'm trying to politic my way in a ticket into that game. I got kids on both sides. I'm hoping one of them slip through the cracks and get me a ticket.
That's gonna be tough. And so some of y'all, I can respect some of y'all U fans because y'all been U fans, but man, there's some U fans that's coming out like, hold on now, when you start liking Miami, you get them. That's how it be though. That's how it be.
Struggle years, because when we was on probation, when nobody was trying to rock with us, cause them bad years during the '90s, late '90s when we was on probation.
Ooh, PC Gridiron, shout out to PC Gridiron with the history fact. Last time y'all played the championship at home, y'all lost in Nebraska. Tommy Frazier. Ooh, that's history. That did happen. Not saying it's gonna happen this time, but it did happen.
Yeah.
So, but if it was fifth, we'll all be somewhere having a good time, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
All right, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Like I said, we're gonna take a break next week for the holiday weekend, and so we'll be back on after that 2 weeks from now, and we will post the updated state rankings next tomorrow when they drop the playoff ranking. We'll keep y'all up to date with that. But man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Appreciate the interaction in the chat, man. Always good energy, so we do appreciate that, man. Until next time, we Polk Hoops. Y'all be safe. Thank you.